Welcome back to Ezra's Report, the only news source America can trust. I'm Drew.
I'm Hannah.
We changed our hair, and this is
Ezra's Report.
Last week, the 15th annual Adult Spelling Bee took place at Ithaca High School in order to raise money for the Teacher Grant Program. Now, if you think this event was just several good-natured adults hanging out spelling words for funsies, you may need a reality check. Forget everything you remember from your first grade spelling bee. This shit is real. Adults in teams named the AB Normals and Fine Arts Word Boosters spent their nights moving through brackets, spelling their hearts out, and trying not to crack under pressure. While other schools may have bake sales or dances to raise money, the success of the night proved a spelling bee is clearly the best way for adults to spend their free time.
The winning word of the night? Bezoar, a word Harry Potter fans will recognize as a stone that acts as an antidote to most poisons, used to save Ron's life in Book 6. True story.
For tonight's top political story, we turn to the election on everyone's mind, the Student Assembly. No one really knows what they do or who they are, but we do know that around this time every year we get bombarded with emails, quarter cards, and social media requests persuading us to vote. Yet you can't blame the candidates' campaign tactics. What's going to make you want to vote for someone more than a Facebook notification? You trick them into believing for one glorious second that someone liked their prof pick. It's genius. Anyway, as the length of this segment is longer than the time you spent actually caring about the SA elections, we're going to move on.
Two more about the SA. But first, in other campus news, it was Hell Week for Signu, Lenrock, and Kaisai, who all got busted for hazing offenses and are facing suspension. Funny. Cornell suspended 3 fraternities, but still no bridge. Luckily, though, for safety-fearing students, Cayuga's Watchers are on the lookout, snuffing out dangerous parties with gusto. Created by the SA, these incognito watchers will attend campus parties and blend in with guests, watching for offenses. They sound kind of like secret shoppers, except cooler because when their drink has a bad taste, they won't jot it down on a clipboard, they'll just call the cops.
On to news in campus technology. A few days ago marked the date of Cornell's annual Every Man for Himself tournament, the Housing Lottery. The always relaxing experience of room selection for campus housing shocked the university by not running smoothly. The housing portal website crashed from an overload, temporarily orphaning 50% of freshmen, 25% of sophomores, and 10% of juniors applying for housing. A spokesperson from the housing office explained that having more than 350 students on the site at one time led to it crashing. Shame there's not already a Cornell site that can sustain even higher numbers all at once without a lottery system.
Hopefully the technology issues surrounding the housing crisis are resolved shortly. With such problems in dealing with maintaining such simple technology as a housing portal, at least we can all be comforted in knowing that Cornell wasn't just recently selected to develop a brand new tech campus.
In sports news, Big Red Women continue to make headlines in the Ivy League. The women's swimming and diving team broke 6 school records last weekend, but placed last in the Ancient 8. Still good, seeing as mermaids are usually disqualified.
Speaking of swimming, in national news, swimming across the Atlantic to escape American cultural embarrassments is no longer an option because America's finest export has already crossed the pond. Honey Boo Boo. The star is a hit in international markets who are presumably airing the show to increase native morale. The 6-year-old pageant queen started airing this year in Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and parts of Asia, and is currently number 3 in Poland. Next month, Honey Boo Boo will hit Italy, Sweden, and Latin America, and inevitably Atlantis, Mars, Saturn, Neptune's 13th moon.
In other major headlines, Alana isn't the only costume foreigner sneaking her way into Italy. Last week, an imposter named Ralph Napierski dressed as a cardinal named Basilius and attempted to sneak into the Vatican conclave for the Roman Catholic Church's next pope. Bitter about child molestation cases, he told reporters that he was there to communicate his disapproval of moving accused priests from parish to parish. Well, that moves us to a segment we like to call Come the F*** On. Come the F*** on, Ralph. Of all the names, Basilius? What is that, some serpent from Harry Potter? Come the F*** on.
And come the F*** on, Swiss Guards. A guy shows up in a fedora and a hot pink waist scarf, and the dead giveaway is his robe length? Come the F*** on. I mean, I get the robe length. It was obviously too short because you could see his black New Balance sneakers.
And Ralph, what were you thinking? The best way to be taken seriously by the church was to crash their most sacred event? Come the on!
This show was not brought to you by any of the following products.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Hannah. And this has been
Ezra's Report.
How about, as I'm saying it, I'll be like, this show was not brought to you by any of the following products.
Yeah, I want to throw one up and try and catch it in my mouth.
Okay.